I'm here with leading reinsman Darren Billinger, the older half of the Billinger brothers. Welcome, Darren.
Yeah, and the better-looking one, of course.
That was my next comment. Speaking of good-looking animals, Frank's back.
Yes, it's a long haul. It's been about 15 months since we've got into the track, but he's come back slowly. He's not a very good track worker, so he's had to race into fitness, but he's just about there and ready for a trip over interstate, I'd say.
Well, fourth run back, and he's won one. That was my next question. What have you got in mind?
Well, he's actually going to Melton this Friday. We've got the 2-year-old in the APG seats at Melton, so Frank's grabbed the other side of the float, and yeah, he'll have a race at Melton on Friday night and see if he can measure up.
Well, hope he's rubbed a bit of that luck off onto the 2-year-old as well. Is he the best horse you've had?
Oh, yes. In my early days, we had a horse called Bag Limit for the early pit time, and he was a champion. So, but we didn't keep him for very long, and so this one we've had the whole haul, and yeah, he's been the most exciting thing for me, that's for sure.
Well, he's got a cult following, hasn't he? It's amazing how some of these horses pick up this cult following, and the people love him.
Yeah, well, he's got a story to him, of course. He was no good as a young horse, and then my daughter passed away, and he became her favourite horse, and after she passed, he became good, and he's got nearly 3,000 Facebook fans now, and everywhere we go without Australia, we get people coming up to us, want their photo taken with him, and they've all got a story to tell, and most of the people have lost someone that connect in life, and this horse just gives them a glamour of hope. We've had people that come in hotels, people that are in hospital where their dad's name was Frank and he was dying and he lived for this horse, and the stories just go on and on and on, and yeah, well, to us he's far more than a racehorse.
Isn't that fabulous? I mean, my father used to talk about Bradman and Farlap, and everyone seems to have an icon they can grab hold of, and he seems to have a bit of help from above.
Yeah, well, I'm not a religious person, but there's just too much happens with this horse around particular times of Kelly's birthday and death and other things that happen, and yeah, we certainly think there's some connection there, and well, we'll go with it. It's about to have to work again because we're about to make another trip.
Well, mate, in this game, of course, you've got to take the good with the bad. The bad comes along too often, so you take the good when it comes along.
Oh, yes. No, he's for every Frank, there's a lot of bad stories as well, of course. But no, he's a great horse, the best one we've been with, and as long as they can get some races here every week, well, we'll continue to stay here. But last time in work, he went about 8 weeks without a run, so we had to move.
Darren, thanks for your time, and thanks for sharing Frank with all of us, and all the best for the future, and particularly this week in Melbourne.
Thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, owner, trainer, driver of, well, Come On Frank. We didn't call him Come On Frank once then, Darren. Come On Frank, better known as Frank, who's going to Melbourne to race this week.